Okay.
Stunning.
Took me a while to paint all this on this morning.
I'm here with the beautiful, lovely Ton Jones. So you're like, wow, you have so much going on. You're in movies, you're working with animals. So I hear you dabble in venomous just a bit.
My main passion is venomous. That's how I got started. Living out in the Mojave Desert, doing wildlife calls and removal of venomous snakes from businesses and schoolyards.
Amazing. Tell us about one of the most eventful stories that ever happened in the field.
I was removing a southern Pacific rattlesnake from a playground, and it was backed up to a schoolyard. It was during school. I went and removed the snake. I have it bagged. I have it safetied on the tongs. I'm walking back to the truck, and the teacher yells, "Go take a picture with the snake man." 30 little munchkins come running over while I have a snake on the bag.
Yeah, not a dangerous snake at all, of course.
And they run over, and I lift the snake up, trip over one of the kids, hand hits the truck, bag hits the truck, snake goes through, clips my hand.
Oh my God.
Dry bite. I went to the hospital. Nothing happened, just as precaution. I thought to myself laying there, what in the world would entice a teacher to get rid of all the kids by sending them to the snake man?
I've had one of those days as a teacher, and it's crossed my mind.
Yeah. It took me to having kids to realize that moment what was going through her head. Let's be real.
Awesome. So tell us about some of your work in film.
I have worked behind the scenes on Venom in Vegas. I was bitten. I'm alive. I've been beat up by Toby Keith.
Okay.
Yeah, he's tossed me through a window or two.
Toby Keith. Wow.
Van Damme has kicked me through a wall. I died 6 times in one of his movies.
Wow.
I hosted the show Auction Hunters. I've worked behind the scenes on Man vs. Wild for 15 years. And I've dragged Earl from Lone Star with me on...
What? You know Earl Jones?
It's a Jones thing. It's a Jones thing. We look like twins, don't we?
You do.
Yeah, I've worked with him. I've dragged him with me on sets with Man vs. Wild as the wildlife survival specialist. Earl actually left me in a cave for 7 hours because he was too busy up at Craft Services.
No
I know.
fajitas. He didn't leave you any fajitas?
No. Surprise. He's at Craft Services.
Oh my God.
But one of the favorite things about that road trip with Earl when we were filming is we rented a brand new pickup truck that had lane assist. We drove through Death Valley watching cartoons, hands off the wheel, and bounced the car between the lanes for almost the whole trip. The only thing that stopped us from completing our journey was the off-ramp. The vehicle started going off the off-ramp.
Oh my gosh. Tell us your best Man vs. Wild story. That was going to be good. I can already tell.
Absolutely horrible. I was filming, I was checking the area because they had the celebrity guests coming in. I was checking the area.
Can you say who that was?
I'm not allowed to say.
Okay.
And we were up in Mammoth at the Devil's Post Piles, I think it was, and I'm removing snakes just so they can stage everything, get it ready. And they yelled, "Hot on set, rolling." And I'm like, oh crap. And I see them with the camera crew coming at me. I'm like trying to figure out where to go. I'm not slender. So I decided I didn't have any snakes with me. I grab my gear and I take off down the hill. Gravity is a fat guy's worst nightmare. You get this much weight and motion.
Inertia.
I'm going down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop. No, I trip over a rock, roll down about 60 feet and stop in the pines. I'm laying there and I'm like, I can't move because they're filming already. They get done, do the scene, and Bear walks up, he's all, "Ton, how long have you been in the bush?" I'm like, bro, since you started, it's been over 45 minutes. I'm laying there just covered in crap, beat up from the rocks, scraped up, bleeding, and I'm just laying there trying to be quiet so I don't ruin the scene.
I love that your near-death experience occurred in a schoolyard.
Yeah.
That's epic.
School is always going to be the death of me.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. So tell us about what you have coming next.
Right now we have a few projects. So what I got coming up next is just doing the stuff with Venom Life. That's going to be coming soon. And I'm spending a lot of time with my kids. My youngest will turn, Levi, he will turn 2 years old tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
And then my oldest just turned 4 2 months ago.
Oh, you're a brave man.
And this morning I was cutting the grass, weed eating, and I found a little little rat snake.
Aw.
And I brought it into the house. Mom gave me the what the damn hell look. Grandma gave me the I'm gonna kill you look. My younger brother took off, left the house, and my kids reacted just the way I wanted to. Can I hold it?
Aww.
So I gave my oldest the snake, and he walked around the house and brought it up on the kitchen table. My little one got up, and they spent 45 minutes with the snake on the table. Then he wanted to release it to be back with its family, so we took it back out in the field and let it go.
That's so amazing. So how does it feel knowing that you're making a generational impact? Because to me, obviously, I know it sounds cliche, but the kids are our future and all that stuff. We have to impact them one person at a time, whether it's through media, personal relationships, and you're growing little snake lovers.
And that was my hope, that they would appreciate nature and wildlife as much as I do. And knowing that their first reaction because of me was not a fear reaction, it was more of I want to know, and they became inquisitive, and I'm teaching them safe handling. It makes me happy because now I know that as they get older, I can take them with me with my snake adventures, my wildlife adventures, and they're going to appreciate it as much as I do. And hopefully one day when they have children, they can pass down the same passion.
I sure hope they do. Okay, one more question. Tell us about your bucket list adventure.
Ooh.
No holds barred.
I actually want to travel through Europe and see all the venomous I can. And at the same time, because I know I have affinity with venomous. Of course, Bothrops asper is one of my favorites, but I still want to rather go to Europe and travel the less known species. And at the same time go visit the catacombs and see everywhere where my wife's family's from.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
And it's climate controlled up there, and there's not as much humidity. And let's be real, a fat guy in humidity, boob sweat sucks. Dude, it sucks. The struggle is real.
It's true.
If it smells like bacon grease, it's bad.
Well, that's good to know. I'm glad you haven't wasted away and that you are healthy and strong enough for me to interview you today. We missed you last night, and it's a pleasure to see you today.
So glad to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I wish your family well on their new adventure.
Yeah, I want to go torture them now.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. See you soon.